So my LPN program, and mind you guys, this was like over 10 years ago. I did not originally get in. So back then, you had to take what was called the Compass test, which was like this standardized test to make sure that you were academically or that you knew simple like math and reading, stuff like that. I had to take that test. You had to apply for the program and you had to write this essay. So the Compass test, oh my God, it took me forever to pass. Or first, it took me forever to pass the test, and then it took me a while to even get up above the score that was needed to get into the program. So I took the Compass test like several times, so many times that the lady at the testing site knew who I was. So I got, which it still wasn't even a great score, but I got a decent score on the Compass test to try to get into this LPN program all these years ago. So I applied for the test and I wrote this essay, and the essay was why did you want to be a nurse, or why I want to be a nurse. Wrote that essay, sent it in, right. I started the waiting process. So I think I sent in everything. I had took my Compass test, applied for the school, and had wrote the essay. And this was like maybe January of 2011, I want to say. So and they said that everybody should suspect or expect, not expect. Guys, I can't even, y'all. I'm sorry, it's early. Y'all know I get in these moods in the morning. Everybody should expect something around April of that same month. So I'll never forget. It was, I was getting ready to go to work. I was working 2 to 10 at the time. And I went to check my mailbox early that morning. And it was a letter from the school. And I was like, oh shit, this is it, you know. So when I opened the letter, I started reading, like my heart was like beating like a million times a minute. I was like so just anxious about it because I had prayed about this. Like I had prayed to God about this so much. Because at that point in my life, I didn't know what else I wanted to do with my life but become a nurse. So when I tell y'all I prayed, I even had nightmares and dreams about not getting into the program. That's how bad I wanted this. So as I was reading the letter, like my hands were shaking, right? My hands were shaking. Couldn't even read the letter. So the first word I saw was unfortunately. And when I saw that word, I knew I didn't get in. So I continued to read, and unfortunately, due to we regret to inform you that you were not selected to be accepted into the licensed practical nursing program, blah, 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 blah. So when I tell y'all I was devastated, like, I was like, what? Like, I just couldn't believe that something I wanted so bad was not actually going to happen. So me being the person I am and how bad I wanted this, I threw the letter down and drove to the school. I needed an explanation. Um, I had this little Ford Taurus. It was a 2000 Ford Taurus that was barely working. Bebop that thing to the school. And I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody is calling me for. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. That was my best friend. We supposed to be going to some type of festival today, and she was calling me, seeing what time we were leaving. But anywho, so I drove to the school. I was so like just upset and in disbelief that I didn't get into this program. So I got to the school, went into the school at the front desk, and I needed to talk to the lady that was over the program. And I was visibly upset, right? So I can remember the receptionist looking at me like, should I call her up here? Which was not my best idea, you know. They could have called the police on me. And not that I was yelling and screaming, I was just very emotional, right? So she was there and she agreed to see me. And she was and I sat down, I was just like, I told her I just got my denial letter from the nursing program and I need to know what I could have done differently, you know, to get into this program. And she told me, she was like, well, you know, your test scores weren't high enough. And I was just thinking that, like, even though my test scores weren't great, I had wrote I felt a very compelling letter, a very compelling essay about why I wanted to become a nurse. But she basically told me that, yeah, the essay was a factor, but it really came down to how you did on the test. And now I didn't understand then. Now I know, you know, being a master level registered nurse. I know that, you know, the reason they do that is to make sure that you can handle the heavy academic and test taking things. Like, I know that now, right? I know that's why now, because they just wanted to make sure that everybody had the appropriate skills to therefore pass the NCLEX, because that's how schools keep accreditation and stuff like that. So I know that now. So after she explained to me, she, she was like, well, you can try for the fall class. And I left. I left her office, went back home, got ready for work, cried before I could. I mean, I was just devastated. Got to work. I was a CNA at the time, so I told one of my charge nurses who I trusted, because those of you guys who know, you don't really discuss things like that with people, you know, just because, like, in nursing is so much adversity. So there was one charge nurse that I talked to about it, and, you know, I cried and made my peace with it. Or not so much, but I was just kind of like, just let her know what happened. So it took me a while to really make peace with it and start to. I remember maybe a few days later, I rescheduled another Compass test to try to score even higher to get into the fall program. So one morning, it was early in the morning. But okay, I'm moving too fast. So basically, I just kind of was like, I took it for what it was. I released it to the universe, and I just said, okay, God, you're not ready for me to get into this program right now. What would you have me do? So I kind of surrendered it. I surrendered it to the universe. I surrendered it to God. I had done everything I could do, and that was it. So one morning I woke up to my phone ringing, and it was the school who denied me access or denied me acceptance. And it was the program director who I had sat with earlier that day or earlier that week. And she said, hey, Adam. I said, hey, good morning. She's like, are you still interested in a position in the upcoming summer nursing program? And I said, yes, ma'am. And she was like, can you get your drug test and all this stuff done by this date? We've had a few people that weren't able to start, so we're extending you an acceptance letter. And I said, yes. So I said all of that, you all, to say this. What God has for you is going to be yours, right? The universe will rise up to meet you wherever you are. And be mindful to only take control of the things that you know you can control. In that moment when I was so defeated and just so like, what would you have me do? If you've ever been in that moment in life to where something didn't work out or something happened the way you thought it should have happened, and you kind of accepted it, released it to the world or released it to the universe or to God or whoever you believe in, and everything happened, turned out the way it was supposed to anyway. So that's just a message to you all. I mean, it has everything to do with failure and all the adversities I've had to deal with getting into a nursing program. But what God has for you is for you, right? What the universe is going to meet you wherever you are, because this is already in your destiny, so to speak, or something like that. Trying not to get too deep with it, but so if those of you guys who are after a nursing programs, who are struggling through the nursing programs, who just got denial letters from nursing programs, who just failed the test, who just failed the NCLEX, everything is going to work out for your good, I promise. Just give it time. After you've given it your all, you release that shit to the universe and have it work out however God sees fit. All right, bye.